successful souls. You are here hanging out with me today, and I'm super pumped because we have an Inner Feminine Beast interview with a former client of mine who I refer to as a sales executive client because I worked with her sales team to really help them to have effective sales and an amazing customer service. And honestly, after working with her within the first few hours, she's somebody I knew was going to be a really good friend of mine, but somebody that I truly look up to. I think she's so badass. She oozes inner feminine beast all day, every day. And I had to have her here today to hang out with you. So we're going to be talking today all about how it's so important to create relationships in the content that you're putting out there in order to convert into sales. Y'all know I love sales. I could talk about sales all day, but before I have her pop on, I just want to give you a little bit background of her, about her bio. She sent this in and I want to read it word for word because it's so freaking good. But what I will say personally is that after working with so many amazing coaches, I've worked with 7-figure, 8-figure coaches. I've worked with so many amazing entrepreneurs. I can truly say from the bottom of my heart that the guest that we have here today is the most real, the most down, the most authentic and genuine person I've ever met. And I really believe that's why she has the level of success that she has. So I can't wait till you meet her. But before I do, let me read you her bio. So our guest today, our Inner Feminine Beast, she is the founder and the CEO of Mom and Heels. For some of you, you already know who it is then, right? She teaches busy moms to slay online sales by identifying their story, personal brand, and mission, all using social media. Marina joined network marketing 10 years ago as a broke single mom looking to get her car back from being repossessed. I can relate to this story. While stuck in a cubicle at work, Marina missed her firstborn taking her steps. That was the moment that made her feel like the worst mom ever and drove her to want more. I think we all have that moment where we're like, okay, we are ready. This is it. I've had enough. I want more. I love how vulnerable she is and she shares that with us. So after an old high school friend told her she could make money with a supplement, Marina was totally in. However, she never made a cent for the first 2 years of being in this industry. It was her second company where Marina built an organization of over 60,000 customers and distributors in less than 2 years using online strategies. She became one of the top 12 income earners in her company, and now she's living brand forward, where Marina shows other marketers how to do the same. It's her mission to make more mamas from the hashtag cubicle to throne. So with zero social influence, Marina has built a multi-7-figure income using social media, and you can too. So I just love that. And I know it's kind of cheesy to read it word for word, but I just had to because it was so good. So without any further ado, I'd love for all of you to welcome my friend, IFB, and just most amazing marketer I know, Marina Simone.
What's up? I like that cheesy bio. Keep going. Keep going.
It's wonderful. No, it's not that it's a cheesy bio. It's just like I'm like reading the paper, which I don't usually do. But I I love that you just got, sometimes people's bios are like, I'm the queen of this and I'm amazing at this and I'm this and that. She's like, nope. I remember getting my car repossessed. I remember missing some of the most beautiful moments in life. I remember being fed up. And that's what I mean. I just, since day one of meeting you, was like, I found one of my matches. I found somebody that's just has the same kind of story, but is so real about it. And I've always loved that about you. When I see you, and of course, I have a bunch of questions for you today. And I know a lot of people want to hear so many different things about your story. But I remember the first moment that I connected with you and I met you. I just remember one vibing because the fact is I knew I found another saleswoman, a woman who really is authentic about, being in sales. I saw you in front of your entire team, which is a massive sales team. Like you have one of the biggest ones I've ever worked with which I found really impressive. So you're an ultimate leader. But again, I identify you as what we refer to as an inner feminine beast. And more than anything, just that badass marketer. I am blown away because I think it was just the other day that I saw one of your reels or TikToks had over 12 million views. And I'm just like, this is amazing that this girl is, in my circle and somebody I chat with, text, and, get the pleasure of working with. So we're really happy to have you here today. And before we get into the topic, which everyone's so pumped about again, which is creating relationships through your content, I'm sure everybody wants to hear a little bit more about your story because you do have a story. It's not just rainbows and butterflies and Prince Charmings. But yeah, I mean, I relate to your bio. A lot of my listeners remember me sharing that I had $200 in my bank account at one point, and it wasn't even mine. It was my husband's. I remember I lost everything. And that for me was when I was like, you know what, this is enough. I honestly can't go any lower. So I have to go up, but I'm not going to just slowly get there. I'm going to commit, I'm going to decide, and I'm going to go full blown, like do it. So that's when I discovered Inner Feminine Beast. But what did it take for you? What was it like, when you were getting your car repossessed, when things were difficult, what did it actually take to have you connect with your drive and become as successful as you are? Can you remember what that was like?
Yeah. My mom laughs now because my mom's like, I told you so. And I'm like, I know you were right. Love you, mom. But I always found myself in drama situations, right? I always found myself with pain that was patterns that kept happening over and over, crappy friends, patterns that kept happening over and over again. And so the decisions and choices that I was making kept creating the same results, whether it was financial, whether it was in relationships, whether it was as a mom, whether it was with a man I was with, whether it didn't matter. I was on this hamster wheel of bad decision, bad decision, bad decision, and no awareness of the decisions I was making and how I was reacting and all of those things. So when I say that I failed for 2 years in my first business, it's because I didn't want to look at anything inside. I didn't want to look at who I was. I just wanted success. That's all I wanted. And I thought that I was just going to get there if I worked really, really, really hard. And I just wasn't the right person to have success in those 2 years. And it sucked because I was like, eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and couldn't buy my daughter anything because I was a single mom at the time. And I felt like it was always the same story for me, but I sat in that story. I sat in it. Like I didn't focus on anything else but the boo-hoos. And that was a big, big shift for me, was coming out of the boohoo moments.
Yeah. I'm curious because actually I never asked this for you. I love the it's hashtag cubicle to throne, right? Which I think is amazing. I never asked you, what was your cubicle job? What were you doing prior to being an entrepreneur?
So I've always been a leader, but I just would lead in the wrong things, right? But so like employers always would recognize like I had this leadership. And so I would always, get overworked. So I actually worked for a third party company that worked directly with Amazon, and I was the controller.
Okay.
And what I did is I like helped the sales go from 0 to over 40 million in like tactical gear and like all these things and spreadsheets and shipping. And I got paid like 35,000 a year to do that. And I never made $1 off of the sales.
Yeah.
And my boss gave me a $2 raise and then stuck another computer. So instead of 2, I always post this picture once a year on Facebook where I had 3 computers in my cubicle area. And it's like the worst thing ever. It's like, congratulations, we got 40 million in sales. Here's $2 raise, and here's another computer so you can work even harder. And so when I say cubicle to throne, it's like, dude, I'm like at home, not necessarily on a throne, but like in my pajamas. Sometimes I'm not wearing pants and I just get to I got all dressed up for you guys today, but like that's my throne. And I don't ever want to sit in a cubicle ever again. It was the worst feeling ever.
Yeah. So, what's so interesting? I know you do this too, because actually we're going to be talking about a lot of this today. It's just, creating relationships with, prospects, leads, and, obviously your clients. But I love connecting with people on the internet. And am I frozen? I'm sorry. Want to make sure.
No.
Okay, good. This little box that I just threw it makes it easier to connect with anybody on the whole entire world. And it's been such a blessing. And so I talk to so many different women who are watching us right now, who are listening to the podcast, who are in our Facebook groups. And I'm finding such a common thread. It's your story. It's my story. And it's basically, there are women who are the top achievers. They're the ones that's constantly promoted. They're the manager, they're the executive, and they get to a point where they realize, wow, I am missing my baby's birthday. Wow, I am busting my butt 80 hours a week, and there's no way I can make any more money at this point. I'm financially capped. And everybody's coming to me and saying, well, you're so gifted, you can make a greater impact. So they have this desire. They see you, they see me, they see what we're doing, and they're like, hey, perhaps I can do this network marketing. Perhaps I can do this online coaching. I'm going to do that because whatever I've done, I've been the best at. I know I can do this too. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be me. But then what happens is you go from being the best at something you've been doing for 10 years to being brand spanking new at something you've never done. What
Oh
happens then? What
yeah.
happens then? The
Yeah.
doubts, the
Yeah.
comparison. You went from running a huge team to now you're literally by yourself, or you have one or two people, and it's like we're figuring it all out, we're making it go, imperfect action. Do you remember those doubts when you first were getting? And honestly, they never really go fully away. But do you remember what it was like switching from being somebody who had, a paycheck coming in, someone who had a schedule that was made for them all the time, to being not only what I refer to as the CEO of a business, but the CEO of your life? What was that like when you were transitioning? What were the doubts and how did you get through them?
I mean, I didn't just have doubts. I mean, I had family members that were like, "What are you doing? You have this college degree and you're throwing it out the window and you're so much more than that network marketing thing." Right? Like it was a lot coming from so many different angles. And I actually missed my daughter take her first steps because I was stuck in a cubicle. So all I could think about was that when I wasn't making money. But gosh, I'll never forget when my boss said to me, "Are you going to still keep talking about that thing where you can make money from home? Because I'm going to have you sign a contract saying you're not allowed to talk about that anymore." So, like,
Mm,
the only people that I had in my life were people that I worked with, and I couldn't even talk to them about what I had. So, I was terrified that I was never going to make money
yeah.
because I went from being this leader. I pitched all these ideas to like the network marketing people, and they were like, "That's not how you do this." And I was like, "What did I just do? I made
Yeah.
a decision and they don't even want to listen to what I have to say because that's not the way it's done." So I'm like, "Oh my God." And I wasn't like this person that liked to be taught new things. I don't like change. I tattooed that on my wrist when I was 19 because I freaking hate change. And so I was terrified. I was terrified. And so not making money for 2 years, I still to this day, like every day I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Every day I wanted to quit. But it was missing my daughter take her first steps, missing those moments that kept pushing me even though I was failing.
Yeah. I feel like what happens is a lot of times when women make that transition and they're ready to do it for themselves, it's just that it's so much easier to go back. It's so
Yeah.
much easier to go back because it is
Mhm.
safe. And I cannot tell you how many times people asked me, "Well, why are you qualified to do this?" And I always say, well, fuck credentials. I'm all about getting results, right? Like that's what's the most important thing. But these stories that you hear from people that even love you and want to support you out of fear, like it's because they love you, but they put this fear into your mind and you always have this option to go back. I really do believe if you don't quit, you will not fail. And if you say that you are a woman of your word, if you say it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I just want our listeners to know, I don't want to say it incorrectly, but I'm pretty positive I know the answer. You're not just a top in your network marketing company. I believe, aren't you number one in sales for your company? Is that right?
So our team definitely pops off some of the top recruiters and top sellers in the whole company. Absolutely. I try not to toot my horn because it's
No,
not
I'm
my
going to shoot it for you.
toot.
That's my job.
It's we have attracted some of the best, and it's because we lead with authenticity. We lead with, most of the coaches are flocking to us because they're doing both. Like they have their coaching business and they're doing network marketing, and that's what I've done, built seven figures on both sides. So, yeah, we do. We have some pretty freaking incredible women that are just having fun and making money and fired their boss.
I
Absolutely.
love that. Fired their boss. See, I
Yeah.
just want to make sure people realize that because so far we heard, well, for 2 years, I didn't make any money and it was absolutely terrible. And honestly, before that wasn't even that great either. But if you do
Mm.
not quit, you do not fail. I just want to let everybody know you're listening to one of the top women in all of network marketing. Like this is her. This is what can happen when you decide and when you choose and you just keep going, right? Like, yeah. So
Brush your
I have
shoulder
a
off.
question for you though.
Yes.
I'm a little different. My story is a little odd, I suppose, but I have background of, working with business consulting and sales strategy, and I thrive on imperfect action. So in my company, in our very first year, we became multi six figures. So it happened very quick. And so for me, I love going fast, and I love teaching people how to hyperspeed the results. For you were saying first 2 years, it was nothing. So what was it like then when you started gaining success? Was it, this thing that started trickling in little by little by little every single day, a little bit more? Or did that just, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm about to quit, but all of a sudden, boom, like the dams opened and everything just came flowing in? What was your story like as far as reaching the levels of success financially?
So when I hit, so 2 years I failed. And then all of a sudden in 90 days, when I had this shift, I hit six figures. So even though the 2 years of failing, then it was just 90 days of like, whoa, right? Six figures. But then I got stuck at six
Yeah.
figures. And I was like, I want seven. I want seven. Couldn't figure out why I wanted it. I just wanted it just to talk
Why
about
not?
it. Apparently. Why not? But what I realized is that everything that I was doing consistently compounded over time. And
Yes.
even though it felt like a rush of success, it wasn't. I just was so focused on moving one step further every day in connections, networking. Like I literally just the book The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy is one of my favorite books of all time because it talks about compounded energy, compounded finances, compounded change, and that's literally I've stuck to that, to where it's like if I'm going to focus on the sales like we did, like okay, that was my full focus, and just the little steps that we could do. I will say this though, I had a crazy amount of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I hit seven figures. I didn't, I was like, who the hell am I? I was making $22 an hour, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, got a $2 raise. Like, who am I to be making seven figures in two
Yeah.
separate businesses? Like, who am I? And so the imposter syndrome I had to fight. I have anxiety and I'm bipolar. So I have to nourish my brain so I don't let I stay humble. And so I don't let the other doubts and the imposter syndrome take over because that could lead me down a really dark road. So yeah, it definitely didn't feel like it was overnight, but most people only see that success. So they think it's overnight, right?
Every day counts. Every day matters. I always talk about the compound effect through The Slight Edge, that book. But
Yeah.
it's true. So I think this is what a little quick tip, and I wonder if you can relate to it because it sounds like you were mentioning it here. I noticed that entrepreneurs in the beginning, one of the things that they do is they have this idea that balance is so good that
Mm.
they need to do all the things and they need to balance and balance. And yes, I don't even use the word balance in my life. I use harmony because sometimes it's never perfectly divided. It's like some of this,
Yes.
some of that. Even the feminine, the masculine, inner feminine beast, it's not always 50-50. It's flowing in and out of them and, being in harmony. But what I love to teach is not just, having a vision board with all the things on it. That's great. But every single day, doing something to move the needle on one of those things, just one. And then the next day, keep going at the same thing until that one thing's completely done. Because otherwise, it's like you're doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. You got done through your whole month, all your time's gone, your energy's gone, and you didn't complete one single thing.
That's right.
And so you just kind of hinted right here, like when I'm focused on this, I'm getting that done completely.
Yeah.
It's sitting down and realizing this is what smart entrepreneurs do is what can I do today to get the biggest return on the thing I'm focused on now? And it doesn't mean you're doing a million things. You're just using all your energy for that one big thing. And I can tell when, like, again, we work together in sales, you brought your team, you were coming to the coaching calls. I wasn't just coaching them. You were coming to them. You were in it to win it. And honestly, that's why I feel you had the results that you did. And at the same time, that's why you just have results in your business all along. You can tell through your marketing that you don't mess around. You're all in. You're all in.
Here's the thing, like I master this thing and then it's like I mastered that, let me move on to the next thing because I am guilty of the ADHD brain. I am guilty of the shiny penny syndrome and the shiny objects, and that's totally happens to me, and I have to stop myself and be like, yo, like if you really want to have success, you don't have to know it all, you don't have to master it all, but you have to be focused and master one thing at a time. So I always, say to any clients of mine with marketing or branding or anyone on my team, like, stop trying to know it all, be it all, and do it all, because there's no such thing as balance. There's no such thing as knowing all the answers, and you're never going to figure it all out, and embrace that, because the faster you can embrace that, then the faster you can grow.
I'm going to ask you this question. It's a little personal, but like I said, I am obsessed, and I've even personally texted and voice messages to you because it was just coming out of my heart. I've never seen a woman show up so authentically on camera in her world. Your TikToks are hilarious, but they're definitely behind the scenes, your real life.
Yeah.
You're in launch, and sometimes you're like with your tissues wiping your nose with absolutely no makeup on and the baby running in the background. And I can see the viewers being like, oh, she really can have that lifestyle and do this. So did you always start out that way? Were you in the beginning
Oh,
looking like a pageant queen? What was the decision
oh.
to be like, I'm showing up as the real Marina. This is what you get. And you even say, hey, guess what, guys? Here comes the pitch. You don't like this part? Bye. All right, for the you are still here, let's do it. And I just remember be like, this girl. So when did the mental switch come? When did that like
Yeah.
attitude, like how do you show up authentically like that?
I love that you noticed that too, because that was a big shift and that was hard for me. Like, I'm right now at 37, I'll be 38 years old, and I'm going through menopause. Like, and so I have acne, and I have hair falling out, and I went from losing 60 pounds after having my daughter to putting 25 back on and not knowing why. Right. So I'm like, when, if I didn't have the skills that I've learned in the last 10 years, I don't even know where I would be mentally right now, with everything that's gone on. And so, little comments back in 2017, like, oh, I can't do what she does, or little comments like, you're intimidating, or, oh my God, do you always have makeup on? Those things, especially for my target, which are moms, like, I didn't realize I was trying to show up so perfectly that I was actually repelling women,
Yeah.
because they were like, I can't do what she does, and I can't show up with makeup on every single day. And I'm like, I don't wear makeup every day. Like, that's not who I am. So why do they think that? And I wasn't showing them the real me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I show up however, and I do it, and I force myself sometimes to do it, because I will look at myself sometimes and be like, oh my God, that acne. Oh my gosh, your skin tone. And I judge myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like, stop it. And I force myself to do it, like rip the band-aid off, and I'm like, boom, just show up, because these moms need to, in order for us to make money, we have to show up as ourselves. In order for us to empower other women, we have to show up as ourselves. Otherwise, we're just going to keep playing into this friggin' Instagram model BS nonsense that's not real.
Yeah.
Like, I refuse to post a perfect picture anymore. Won't do it. I refuse to go on stage and have this perfect presentation. I won't do it. My company knows, you want me on stage, F bombs might come out. Like,
Oh
it's just
yeah.
so like today I'm like, ooh, I'm all dolled up. I have to go to my daughter's school. And so I'm like, let me look decent for the school, because she just got accepted into it. Other than that, I probably wouldn't have been this done up for you guys today. Like, but it was hard. It was so hard, because I'm always worried about what other people think. And I knew that in order for me to move through that, I was going to have to show up authentically as me. And my brand blew up when I did that, by the way.
I'm getting out all of the worksheets that I have in my coaching program, but I have this one. This is so funny. I remember when I first started, I always showed up like this.
Yep.
And I'm wearing the pink blazer and I'm sitting with my arms like a Miss
Right.
Pageant.
Oh, this way?
This is
Like the
my
real estate photo?
like
Yeah. Yeah.
now like my
Yeah.
sons are shooting me with Nerf guns when I'm teaching.
Yes.
You just get more comfortable with it and who you are, because here's the thing. You and I are here to obviously create a ripple effect, to leave a legacy, to empower women, but we do that through sales, right? When we sell, it's not spammy or scammy or sleazy. It really is the start of other people's success. It's a
Yeah.
spiritual thing. But how
Yes.
do you make sales? You've been I've never done network marketing. That's the only thing I have not done. And that I will say is one of the hardest types of sales to do. But I've done the liquor sales. I've done the door knocking. I've done the real estate. I've done the phone. Lord knows I've done the social selling. When it comes to making sales, which almost every one of our listeners here is wanting to learn more to do, and we're going to talk about the marketing side of it in a second, it comes down, again, doesn't matter what type you're doing, to the fact that it's about emotional connection.
Correct.
People have to trust you.
Mhm.
And people like them, or they like people who show up at least genuinely that inspired them to be a different version of themselves. But you have to trust you. You got to like you got to be like open to being yourself and being vulnerable. You got to be willing to be vulnerable. And so that's not something that's easy to do, but the more you do it, the more you show up, the more you let it go, the more it happens. But I'm telling you, you're on that next level. And I think it's amazing. And I think it's cool too, because what I love about your message, and this is something that I teach a lot of the women I coach business on, is you're not here to please everybody. It's not,
No.
because you're not going to get anybody if you
Mhm.
please everybody. And when it comes
Yeah.
to like metaphysical concepts, since this is spiritual success, it's all about like polarizing. You don't want to depolarize. You just want to find your people. And most of us are not here to sell something that's, $50 to 1,000 people. We want to sell something that's $1,000 to 50 people. And that means that we just need to find our people. Because I remember, and I'm interested in your opinion on this, and then we're going to let you take it away on all these different things. But I remember when I first started getting involved in social media, I've always did the sales aspect. I was like, all right, let me do this whole marketing thing. Even though I went to school for marketing back then, I had a flip phone, so social media didn't exist. Don't get me mad about that. But I met with somebody to help me with Instagram and get ideas and start like scheduling. And they're like, okay, we're going to schedule 1 or 2 posts a whole entire week. And I was like, first of all, I'm paying you that much for what? And I was like, why would we only do 2? They're like, oh, you don't want people to unfollow you. You don't want people to be like, you feel bombarded by your social. And I was like, thinking with Grant Cardone in my back, my back of my mind, like, then they ain't my people. Like my people want to hear from me. My people want to see me. Have them unfriend me, because I'm never going to work with those people. And honestly, that's kind of what Inner Feminine Beast is. It's like all of me, right? Like it's intense, but it's what takes to the next level. So what do you feel about showing up consistently? And then let's talk about how that showing up consistency, I can do this, showing up consistently ends up building relationships through your content.
Yeah. So it's funny. Like I always tell my team and I tell my clients and everything, like I was never the top recruiter. I was never the top seller. I am just so freaking consistent that people think about me even when I'm not around.
Exactly.
And it literally, like, people will send me, oh my God, I saw these high heels. I was thinking of you. Oh my gosh, this happened. People are like giving me tips all the time. Like, and I love it. Like, I'm like, give me all the things when it comes to a toddler and a preteen, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Right. And so, like, that's what consistency does. It creates a brand that's so strong that even when you're not around, you're being thought about.
Exactly.
That's power.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't have to be the top seller. I don't have to make the most money. I don't have to do all those things. I just have to be so freaking consistent that people think about me even when I'm not around.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And so, like, I tell my team all the time, be consistent. I might not be on the top, but people on my team are always on the top. So it makes me be the top. You know what I mean? So, like, I attract people that are top sellers and top recruiters because I'm just like, hey, I'm not the top seller and top recruiter. I'm just consistent as hell.
Yeah.
And so that's the power of consistency.
And I just love having you say this, because I know my listeners hear me all the time, but when they hear a woman like you or somebody else, consistency and repetition will always be the key to your success.
Always.
Always. And what does that mean? That's what we talk about, not just being CEO of a business, CEO of your life. This is self-accountability. This is self-integrity. This is self-responsibility. This is self-discipline. And discipline, I must remind you, is not punishment. It is freedom. Look at the life that this woman gets to live. And trust me, it's a beautiful life. She lives here in Florida with me. She's a little bit more south where it's super tropical. She has $1 million home. Her man is retired and at home with her. Like, she is traveling. She was just in, the Hard Rock Cafe for Tampa and New Year's. She's traveling next week, like doing all the things. And it's because of that consistency. She's admitting, I was not number one. It is all about just showing up. And there's always tips and tricks on how to do that consistently, but it's a choice, it's a decision. That's the bottom line. So I love that people get to hear that from you. So I know a ton about building relationships through sales. I always have the connection calls. It's about really having effective DMs. It's about showing up live and being yourself. But let's talk about how more so this involves in marketing, how you can create content that really builds those solid relationships. So it's not just top of mind awareness, but builds that like emotional connection with your listeners. So you're the queen of this. And I'd love for you to just kind of start just sharing some ideas or how this gets started or any input you have about this.
Yeah. So I just also want to like add, like, I had to create a whole new network,
Okay.
right? I was the girl who was dancing on bars, like hanging out with gang members. Like, so I didn't have like a warm network of people that like, come
Yeah.
make money with me, or hey, I'm going to help you make money and I'm going to empower you. I had that whole 2 years of having to become a different like
Yeah.
human, right? And then I had to create a network. And so what I'm going to share with you is how to create networks if you have none. Because I think
Okay.
that's what stops a lot of people with their businesses is they're like, well, I don't have anybody to chat with. And I'm like, okay, well, dude, it's social media. People are looking for friends. Go be
Yeah.
their friend.
It's
Make a
called
friend.
social.
It's
Yeah.
called social. And
Yeah.
that's literally what people are on there for. So one of the biggest things when it comes to your content, let's just talk about Instagram, for example, like your reels, like you don't even have to pay for marketing. Your reels will get put in front of people that like you for free.
Yeah.
No brainer, right? So, okay, here you go with your reels. What should you do with your content? Make people laugh, love, or learn. Those are the 3 L's: laugh, love, or learn. And I always like let them laugh and then love what I'm doing. I'll let them learn through what I'm selling. Let them learn through my stories. Let them learn, right? Like through my freebies. But in my reels, it's all about creating, like you said, that emotional reaction of like, oh, yes, me too. Oh, yeah, girl, my teenager, she's a pain. Oh, yeah, my husband, yeah, with those NFTs and that crypto crap, right? Like it's all about finding those people that will engage with your content because they're like, me too.
Yeah.
When someone likes, comments, shares, or any of that, that's them saying, I'm just like you.
Yeah.
And we're so focused on how many people are doing that versus who's
Mhm.
who is hitting the like button, who is commenting, who's like on your, you know, watching your live videos, who is responding to your emails, who, because that's your person,
Yeah.
that's your target audience. And so if you have people that are engaging, you need to go do more of that. So get so consistent with getting people to laugh and love what you have out there, and then you could take them to the next step, which is selling them
Right.
or serving them.
So, you know what's something that blew my mind watching your content is, first of all, let's let people understand the amount of engagement and followers that you're actually getting. Okay. So I remember, you want to correct me, but I remember not too long ago, I saw one and it had 12 million views, right? With, I think
Yes.
it was a reel or TikTok.
It was a
Um,
read.
and did it go up after that? Was it, how many was it
No,
eventually?
it's around like almost it's like 12.5 million or
I knew
something.
when we
I'm
were
like,
working together, you did that. It was like, whoa.
yeah, it's
And,
crazy.
but I remember what it was too. Was it the gas station one? Was that what it was?
Mhm.
Yeah. So you said, you got up and you were like, hey, to my 12 listeners, my 12 people that be liking my stuff, I'm going to go get something at the gas station. Do you need anything? And then your copy was, if you're not loving and engaging with the people who are loving, engaging with you, how do you ever expect that you're going to get more? And I
Mhm.
always say to my, women, God will never give you anything that you can't handle. You got to show that you can handle what you have now to get to the next. And I just
Yeah.
thought was, you did it funny. You showed up as you, and then you also just had this powerful message behind it. And of course, boom, it took off. But the one thing that I thought was really cool looking at all your things, and I have looked at all your things because I will laugh, I will cry, I will just be clicking for quite a while. And I don't usually do that. I've noticed that you very often will be in the same outfit and
Mhm.
she'll just record a bunch of them at once. Because I'm
Mhm.
always like, change my shirt, change my shirt. And you're like, no, I'm just getting it done. And I know I'm great. And I'm showing you that I can do this all in one sitting. So what is your mindset behind that? And how did that I'm curious.
So I literally would teach like change your shirt and just change your lipstick color. And I was like, I don't want to freaking do that. Like I
That's
just
inspired.
don't. I don't care if I post the same outfit 3 days in a row. I might even be wearing the same outfit 3 days in a row. You never know. You know, so it's like I'm like, I can't. I mean, there's trainers out there that are like, just change your shirt. And yeah, maybe I'm not doing that. Like
Yeah.
today I recorded 6 and I'm like, okay, how can I get those up quickly so they're trending while they're trending and get the message out there? Because that's all that matters to me. It's not like, okay, I tricked you. I'm in a different shirt. I can't. Like, no,
But
that's
the
not
thing
happening.
is, I realize as a viewer, I don't care that she didn't change her shirt. I was like, why
Right,
was
it's
I
like, who
making this?
cares?
Yeah. And
No.
that's what we do a lot as entrepreneurs, is we make stories up and we make problems into problems that aren't problems. And like, I just think it's very cool to watch how how you are so successful in marketing, but at the same time, you keep it so simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It's like,
I
wow.
won't get anything accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're building, our following, we're building these relationships, the people that are engaging, those are people. So we are making sure that we laugh, they love, and that they learn. What else is there about creating that relationship that converts? Because you do get sales just from people seeing your emails. You get
Yeah.
sales just from people watching your social media. Hey, can I speak to the consult person? Because I just want to know, how do I buy? I've been watching for a long time and I know she's my girl. So a lot of times we're all doing the launches, which you do, but you're getting a lot of success in between. And it's because of this powerful marketing. But what do you have to say a little bit more about how this content is actually building that relationship?
Yeah. Well, launching is exhausting. Let's just all keep it 100,
Yes.
right? It's really exhausting. And yeah, it's great money, especially when you get up there. But, you want to have that consistency and you want to have those sales that come in while you're sleeping. I mean, that's what we're all working towards, right? So, we have like a system of when someone engages, they're going to get love from me, right? Whether it's from me or a VA, they're getting love and they don't know if it's me or a VA. They just know it's me. And so it's like, hey, thanks so much for liking my stuff. What kind of business are you into? It's like starting real conversations and getting to know the people that are following me. One, it's going to help me create more content they want to see. So I'll get more engagement, more shares, and get put into new networks. Two, it's going to help me identify the language that I'm not using in my copy. I'm not using in my emails. I'm not using in my marketing that I should be using. Because sometimes I think I should be using words and people are like, what is that? They don't even know, right? Like monetization. I don't use that word in my marketing. You know why? Because my people don't know what the hell that is.
Right. Right.
Well, right. So, and then the third part is finding out where they're struggling because I might have a free webinar, a program, or something that could help them. And so when I do have a launch or I do sell something, if they haven't bought something right now, they're buying in the next 90 days.
Exactly. You're showing
Yeah.
them how you can customize and really handpick something,
Yeah.
provide value for them. And then
Yeah.
that really gets them kind of downloading all your stuff to kind of sell for you until you have that event. So it's so easy for them to say yes.
Well,
Exactly.
people are binging. So think about that for a second, right? Like you were watching all my TikToks. People will watch my TikToks, end up
Mhm.
on my Instagram, end up on the link in my bio, end up on my blog, and then they're opted into my emails and they're being sold.
Yeah.
And they've
It-
seen me so many times. The brand authority is already there because they've followed on so many accounts. And then I have ads that are retargeting them for even bigger courses. And then if you
right.
buy a course, something else is going to happen. So it's like knowing where's the circle? Like it's got to be a circle. Where's your value ladder and taking them through that.
Exactly. I call it the rabbit hole effect where we all done it.
Uh,
You're like going here, looking at Kardashians.
I
There's
still do it. I do it, right? Like I
cheap
still
click,
do it.
but you're set up for success. Here's
Yes.
something that I really would like to share with people that I'm being completely honest about. I worked with several multi-7-figure entrepreneurs. I've helped them to, learn new sales strategies and just kind of learn how to have their group programs get even more scalable. Um, After spending time with you and your team, first of all, I can say that your team is the most compassionate team. They have the most camaraderie. They are so in it to win it. And they honestly care so much about your prospects and your followers. But I also can say that out of every program I've ever seen that the entrepreneurs that I work with offer, I've never seen more value in one than the one that you offer. I remember being like, Marina, like this has to be like 4 different offers in one. And not just that, it's like, when are you gonna raise your price? You're like, nah, I like it here. I like it here. So if you are somebody who is, a network marketer, or even if you're somebody who just wants to really excel in getting these marketing strategies, I'm telling you, I saw what she offered and I was just like, whoa, it's a no-brainer. I also love too that you work with men as well. It's mom and heels, but a lot of men are like, what is this girl up to? Like, I am
It's so funny.
joining.
They're like, I don't wear heels. Can I join your program? I'm like, totally. It's so awesome too. It's like, I'm not targeting them at all. Like I am very much targeting moms or women. And we have dog moms and we have people that aren't moms, but they don't care because they're women. Like, right. Like, So it's just proof is in your marketing that as long as you're relating to someone, it doesn't matter who they are, they're going to relate to your content and they're going to want to buy from you.
That's right. Well, in just a second, I'm going to have you tell everybody the best way to follow you and learn more. I'm really am highly recommending though her coaching services. They're amazing. But I have some fun, exciting news that you and I haven't talked a ton about yet, but we've been on Zoom so many times. We text here and there, we're voice messaging. But you and I are going to be meeting in person later this year in September.
We sure are. We're going
Our
to
dear friend Kimberly Olsen's event that she's hosting in Nashville. But when I found out you were going to be on stage, I'm going to be on stage, I was like, this is going to be like an amazing
I
event.
know.
So
we're going to do so many TikToks and reels. Just be ready.
All right.
We'll do all the things.
I'm excited. You're gonna teach a girl something, that's for sure. So
Heck yeah.
all right. So what is the best way? There's a million ways to follow you, but if there's like those top 1, 2 ways that you'd love for people to reach out to kind of start following you and learn more, what would that be? And of course, we're going to include those links for our listeners.
Totally. Instagram's just like the jam. Like that's just the place where I spend the most time personally. I repurpose everywhere else, honestly. And so Marina and Simone. So it's just Marina, ANN, Simone. And that's my handle for TikTok too. And TikTok will make you laugh. And my husband, I get him in on that. So it's more of just like personal dorky stuff. But Instagram's where all the magic happens.
Cool. I love it. And then I feel like I always have a last word. So I want to invite you, if there's anything else that you wanted to mention, any last words or anything before we sign off, definitely please share.
Yeah, no, first off, I just want to say thank you to you. I mean, even though like I have a 7-figure business, you really opened the eyes of the people that are on my team that they can have more, they can be more, and they watch your recordings like all the time. And I'm grateful for that because we had no idea what we were doing going into this type of a launch. And it's changed the way my healers, which is our tribe of women, they're so much more invested in my brand because of it. So if you guys need help, like I don't know what you better hire her, not me. You have to hire Cynthia because she is like all about it. And honestly, like I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so glad we met because you're freaking awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Actually, this is kind of new to the world. I haven't publicly gone super big with it, but now's the time. But yeah. So, I mean, if you are a 7-figure entrepreneur and you are looking for support in your sales teams, if you are growing your sales teams, if you want to learn to set metrics, manage them, have them get the posture, the confidence, know how to have the connection that leads to the consult, that leads to the conversions, or just provide that amazing, flawless experience to convert customers. Like that's what I do. That's what I love doing. And Marina, like, thank you for just saying that. This is all about you today, but like,
I know, but no,
it's going really well. We have your amazing testimonial that you left with me that we'll be putting out soon. And we've been collecting quite a few. So we're ready for the world. And that's really big and exciting. So, well, having you was an absolute honor. I really do mean it. From one IFB to another, I just think you are changing the world and creating such amazing impact. And more importantly, just leading by example, which is just awesome. So with that being said, to all my listeners, acknowledge it, embrace it, see it through.